start recording the meeting now. Perfect. So I will call the meeting, now that we have a quorum, I'll call the meeting of the Freetown Conservation Commission to order. Before we continue, I will read the governor's order. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people who may gather in one place. This meeting of the Freetown Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Freetown website, freetownma.gov. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website or YouTube channel an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. All right, folks, again, welcome everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go over the items that are requesting a continuance. We'll do that with one motion to continue to the next meeting. Victoria, when's the next meeting date?
25th.
The 25th. So everybody knows it's the 25th. We'll do it again via Zoom. So let me start with items number 2 and 3. Been in contact with the proponent. Again, this is just a function of the actual subdivision not being recorded after its appeal period yet, and we've recently found out that the roadway that is going to create these lots, the order of conditions has expired, unfortunately, just as recently as last Friday, and they weren't able to get an extension, so they're going to need to refile with that. So the applicant and I think the board has agreed that when they get their notice of intent in for the actual road, that we will open up all 3 public hearings and we will work on them all at one time, one night, try to get them over with and done if we can. So item number 4 is the 41 Water Street. That is still under peer review and response from the applicant, so again, we will continue those. I'm going to assume, Byron, by your presence and Jim Resendi's presence, that items 5 and 6 you would like to talk about tonight? Somebody shake their head. Byron, shake your head so I can see it. Yep, okay, good.
It works better when I unmute. Yeah, we certainly like to talk to you about 3 French Street.
Okay, and on number 6, that would be the Zero Rocky Road. Are we going to talk about that, or is that continued?
We'd like to talk about it. Hopefully,
okay.
We get some information out of EPG, but we may have to just continue it, Kevin, but we'd still like to talk about it.
Perfect, excellent. Okay, so item number 7, that would be the 12 Forge Road. That's the proposed solar array. The applicant's engineer has reached out to me today. They are still under peer review. Victoria, today was the day that they had the wetland delineation reviewed, correct? They did an on-site inspection. So there's still some outstanding engineering to be done, so they've asked for continuance also. So that would be items number 2, 3, 4, and 7. If there is anybody here from the general public that was interested in these, we are simply going to open them up and continue them to the next meeting, which would be on the 25th. So I will call all those public hearings back to order, and I will entertain a motion to continue, again, to reiterate items number 2, 3, 4, and 7, that those items be continued, their public hearings be continued to January 25th, 5 o'clock via Zoom.
Motion so made, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I need a second. Keith, did you say second?
Keith, you're on mute.
Keith, unmute yourself, partner.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I had to step away for a second.
That's all right. Excellent. Thank you. So motion's made and supported. If there is no further motion, discussion on the motion, I this requires a roll call vote. So Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Do we have any other members on tonight? No. Okay. So the motion passes unanimously, everybody. It's, that's on to the 25th. And again, some of those may still not be done, but, they've asked to be continued to that date. So that being said, why don't we go back to item number 5, if you would. This would be 3 French Street. So this is a continued notice of intent public hearing that I will call back to order. Again, if there's members of the public here and would wish to speak on this, typically we let the applicant make some sort of presentation. It will then open it up to the board and interested parties for questions. If need be, just politely interrupt me and state your name, and you can ask your questions, and we'll try to get them answered. We are recording this meeting. If there's no other questions, then I would offer Byron. Why don't you make your presentation, sir?
Okay, well, since our last meeting, we did get the peer review letter in from Environmental Partners. It came in this morning. Jim and I have both had a chance to go through with it. We don't really have a problem with any of the items. They're mostly housekeeping issues, some minor revisions to the plans. Nothing really on a technical nature. There is one item, though, that needs some resolution from the board, and that's the item relative to standard 2 of the stormwater regulations.
Byron,
Yes.
if I could just cut you, and I'm sorry, my friend.
Okay.
Again, members of the board and interested parties, if you go onto the town's website, the document that we are talking about, and along with all documents and plans, they are on our website, freetownma.gov. Go under boards and committees, Conservation Commission. If you look on the left, it'll say something relative to materials for Conservation Commission meeting. Click on that, and you will see that we are talking about 3 French Street, and this would be peer review letter dated January 11th, 2021. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And you are talking specifically about item what number?
On page 6,
Yeah.
item 2.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and you're looking for that waiver, right?
Correct. That normally under standard 2, you have to design, as we all know, that so that post-development peak runoff doesn't exceed pre-development.
Yeah.
However, this is a situation where the floodplain is actually land subject to coastal storm flowage, which does allow a waiver for that. And
Okay,
on the next page, page 7, Environmental Partners has recommended that waiver.
Yeah, I was just about to state that basically, and this is why we send this stuff out for peer review, because it's at a level much higher than what I typically can understand, quite honestly. But because of your location and it's coastal storm flowage is what you're saying, and within the law, the act, it allows for a waiver, and that doesn't mean that you're not doing any kind of stormwater management. It's just, in this case, what specifically does it mean on this waiver?
It basically means that there's not going to be a large detention pond or anything of that nature.
Yep.
To hold back the rate of runoff, mainly because it's tidal.
Right. And again, the rate of runoff could influence if it was an enclosed body, right, you could influence it if there was too much at one time. But again, this is tidal into the ocean, for, lack of a
Correct. All the other stormwater standards we have met.
Yes, I see that after reading it. So what you're looking specifically on this is will we be amenable to granting the waiver? And I will just simply read Environmental Partners' response. It says, we recommend that the commission allow a waiver for standard 2 as the project includes discharges to land subject to coastal storm flowage. So they are in significant agreement with you. So that being said, I'll just, I know there's not too many, Byron, so we'll just take them one at a time. All right. Unless this is the only one.
What's that?
No, just these issues that you want us to address right now. Most of the other ones, I've read the review letter, and most of them have been taken care of and closed out.
Right.
And to your
Most of
point,
them have.
yeah, to your point, there's some minor change, I think, due to natural heritage encroachment, maybe in some of the area that you might tidy up.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
not a
rest seems like,
problem.
right, and the rest seems like housekeeping, so. And what do I mean by housekeeping? Just notations on plans, right? They want to see another contour line, stuff like that, correct?
Mostly. The only other exception to that is they're looking for a little bit more information on the intermittent stream that runs parallel to
Right.
North Main. We have no problem with that at all.
Okay, again,
We
there's
can satisfy you.
all right, again, for those, there are specific, and more recently this happened in the last 10 years, but there are more specific guidelines to what determines how to determine what's an intermittent stream and what's a perennial stream. So you're claiming it's intermittent. I'm sure that you're going to be asked to provide a response, I think, so that it meets the, 310 CMR or 310?
1058.
Yeah, all right. So let me go back to this one item that you're looking for a waiver on. Again, I will listen to any input from the board or from anyone else, but I don't have an issue at all, particularly since Environmental Partners Group agrees that this is an allowed waiver. They're recommending it, and they agree that this is a subject to coastal storm flowage area. So with that being said, is there any comments from the board?
Kevin, just to
Sure.
note, I would concur with your view. Yes, environmental partners will approve of it. I'm not going to object to it. I have no issue.
Okay. Thank you. So if there's any other
I'm good,
comments
Kevin,
on,
so.
excellent. Thank you, Keith. If there's no other comments or questions from anybody, then I will entertain a motion that we grant the waiver from Standard 2 as recommended from Environmental Partners Group and as requested by the applicant, because this, in fact, does include discharges to land subject to coastal storm flowage. I'll entertain that motion.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and supported. If there's no further discussion on the motion, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris. Kevin says aye. All right, so that passes unanimously. So Byron, and Jim, for that matter, you're both here, might as well address you both. It would seem that you should be able to provide resolution to these outstanding items, again, housekeeping and such. Do you think that that will be done in time and for our next meeting?
Which is what, the 25th?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we should be able to have it done for that.
All right, you'll have it done and up to EPG. Again, since it's only a few outstanding, some of them are just simple. If it's on the plan, then you're fine. I think your biggest hurdle, if you will, or just, work-wise, is going to be the intermittent stream, and you may already have that squared away. So, do you have anything else to add on these, guys? Byron or Jim?
No, I think Byron can just send a response to EPG on the open items and take care of all of them within the time frame.
Perfect. All right, then. If there's nothing else to add tonight, then I would ask that we to get a motion to continue the public hearing for 3 Friend Street. Again, GM Way. It's a construction of a 7-lot residential subdivision to January 25th, 5 o'clock via Zoom.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and supported. No further
Kevin?
discussion on it. Yeah?
Before you take
Sir?
can I just, Byron, do we need anything from the commission to make sure that we can move forward with the planning board next week?
No. Well, yeah, we'll be asking at the planning board, so we'll be able to say that that waiver has been granted.
Okay, and that takes care of the issue we had with planning, right, on whether or not the stormwater was allowable, right?
Correct. They were waiting for a resolution through conservation.
Okay,
Right. If you want, we can follow up with an email to planning board, just mentioning our conversation and the motion that was taken tonight.
That'd be great.
yeah, that's
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right, so we have a motion and a second to continue to the 25th. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris. Kevin says aye. Passes unanimously. Okay, next on our agenda, we have the public hearing for a continued notice of intent public hearing for Zero Rocky Road. This is for a soil removal operation. I will call that public hearing back to order. Again, this is very similar to the last one. Applicant can make their comments, and then we will open it up for discussion. So if you would, just state your name for the record before you go again.
Yeah, Byron Holmes, Holmes Engineering. We really don't have too much to add this week. We responded to the original peer review letter that's gone back to Environmental Partners. They haven't had a chance to finish their review at this point. But we
Okay.
did answer all of the questions they had on the first one.
Does
Okay,
Adam, Kevin, does Adam know where the status of that is or what they think?
I have not, actually, I was just going to ask you if you had heard anything from them relative to, I have not gotten, well, hold on. Victoria, did you talk to Adam today? Is Adam on the call today?
Yes, I'm on the call.
Oh,
hey.
hi, Adam.
How's it going?
How are you, Adam? Welcome. I'm sorry, buddy.
No worries.
So maybe you can answer Jim's question so I don't fumble around.
Yeah, we got basically on Thursday, we got word that we were doing the review, the plans were in, and the responsive comments were in, and the check was in. So we just got started late last week, so we haven't really made much progress.
All right, and I'm not asking you to make a promise, but what I'm asking you is, do you think that there'd be enough review done on this that we should continue this to the 25th?
The 25th is reasonable to try to have a
Perfect.
letter for.
Excellent. Okay, Byron or Jim, do you have anything else to add on this?
No, so we'll ask for a continuance until the 25th.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, anybody from the general public here on this? These that want to ask any questions? No. Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Just before we go any further, just so to make everyone aware, recently I have learned that I am now in a butter of this project.
Oh,
And as such, formally, I would be in conflict of interest. I have filed paperwork with the town clerk upon it. I don't see that there is any real true conflict.
okay.
Where the area of work to my property line is probably around 3,000 feet. But we are technically now abutters. Just so, and Jim, just so you're aware of that, I don't know, I'm sure you knew that we were now abutters, but you know, do you have any problem with me acting on the project?
I don't have a problem, Charlie.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. Like I said.
No, Charlie, that's very good. I appreciate that. You know, too often times, you know, it's tough. We're in a small town, and you know, it is what it is a lot of times. So I appreciate you coming down here, taking the initiative to fill out the paperwork and to keep everybody as transparent as possible. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, if there were more than 3 members meeting, I would tell everyone I would abstain. You know, just
Right. Right. It's a,
something. But seeing that
Yeah.
there's only 3 members tonight.
yeah. Rule of necessity sometimes take place.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate. Yeah.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you, Charlie. All right. That being said, if there's nothing else to add, then have I already made the entertain a motion to? No. Oh, so I'll entertain a motion to continue to the 25th, 5 o'clock via Zoom.
I'll make that motion.
Excellent.
I second.
Motion made, supported. If there's no further discussion, hearing none. Roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. So that passes unanimously. So I think, gentlemen, we are all set with you, Byron, and you, Jim, right?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, you guys have a great night. Be safe.
See ya.
See ya. Okay, item number 8, this is a request for determination of applicability. And where is that? Here it is. So it's on our website. This is for an RDA for 20 South Main Street. This is a septic system upgrade. Again, folks, on our website, you can find them under commission filings for tonight's meeting, and it would be 20 South Main Street, and it's the plans PDF. My understanding is this is a septic repair, fairly tight situation. So is there somebody, is Rainey here? Is somebody here from
Yes.
Zenith? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Hi, Rainey, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
If
So,
you'd just be kind enough just to state your name for the record, and we'll get you out of here.
sure. My name is Rainey Gagnon. I'm with Zenith Consulting Engineers. And like Kevin said, the project's located at 20 South Main Street. There's an existing three-bedroom house. It's on the north side of South Main Street, with the Assonet River running along the rear of the property to the north. The existing septic is a leaching pit located approximately 45 feet from the river, and it's actually at an elevation where it's in the water table. So what we're proposing to do is remove that and put in its place a new bottomless sand filter system, as well as an advanced treatment system to basically clean the effluent before it goes back into the ground. And these systems have been proven to, clean up that effluent before we put it, especially in areas where, like in this case, we're 40-something feet from the river. The reason why we're going to keep it in that location is because we have a well at the front of the property, and we wanted to keep the system outside that 100-foot radius to the well. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we're proposing.
Yeah, I was looking at this, Rainey. I think we have a similar one here in town already. People might, it's Elm Street, right? The
Yeah, I
big
think
yellow
I-
house,
They did it too.
right? I think there's one over there. It's but it's
Correct.
a treatment system. And what I'm getting at is we've approved them like this because of their proximity to, wetlands and the separation from the water table. So, yeah, having a well, it's tough, right? You got to stay outside that 100-foot,
Exactly.
and not to mention you're on a lot that's only 60 foot wide. Well, good Lord. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty small lot. Yep.
Yeah, it widens out the back, but so it looks like most of the systems outside the 50-foot, you clearly are going to have to go to the Board of Health for variances, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, my understanding that the Board of Health agent has done some sort of cursory review or has looked at this and understands the situation and hasn't really taken any exception to it. So,
That's my understanding as well. Yes.
all right. So you got a silt sock now. All right. I don't mind the use of a silt sock. I'm just trying to get an idea of, so 1 inch equals 20 feet. I'm just wondering how steep it is back there. It kind of goes off to the water over there, does it not? There is a stone wall at the bottom though, right? Yeah, yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the site in my mind from the water, and yes, there is.
Yeah, it drops off quite a bit there's like a patio area behind the house.
Yeah.
And it looks like it drops about 10 feet over maybe 70 or 80 feet.
All right, so that's pretty good.
It's a pretty good drop off there.
Yeah, so what I'm going to say then is I see you got a proposed silt sock, but I would say, we might want to consider Rainey going with a filter fabric and, silt fence. What's your thought?
Was that a question to me?
It is, Rainey.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, I think we'd be amenable to that if the
Okay.
commission
All
wants.
right, I would say that, you know, you can go with the silt sock, but I would say have some filter fabric on site so that, again, we're talking about a week disturbance. It's not very long. But my fear is, once you go to loam and seed afterwards, we're in the middle of winter, if we get some runoff that, if it gets over the top of that 6-foot silt sock. So we
Right.
may want to just go with the filter fabric, because I'm looking at, oh, it says it's a 12 to 18 inch silt sock you're gonna use. Well,
Yeah,
you're gonna
that's
use-
right. We're gonna use the bigger one, yeah.
all right, okay, well then if you're gonna use that size, then I'm fine with it. That's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. I thought it was 6 inch. All right, this is not a public hearing, so it's not necessarily open to the general public. If there is if the owner is here or an interested party and they have any kind of question, I'll let you ask it now. If not, we're gonna move forward. Okay, not a lot of interest in new septics at 20 South Main. That being said, anybody from the board have any issues with this?
I'm good, Kevin.
Excellent.
I'm good.
Roby? All right, Keith. Oops.
I'm good.
All right. Hey, then I will entertain a motion that we issue a negative determination number 3, that while it is in an area, in a buffer zone to an area subject to protection of the act, it will not dredge, alter, or fill that area. So there is no need to file a notice of intent. And of course, with every septic system, the improvement is much better than the existing. So I'll entertain that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and supported. If there is no further discussion, roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Passes unanimous. Next on our agenda, if we could approve the minutes from 12:14 and 12:28, is that possible?
I'm good with that, Kevin.
All right, we've sent them out, Victoria, right? Because I was gonna say I've gotten them. So if that's the case, then I will just entertain a motion that we approve the minutes for 12:14 and 12:28.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Motion made and supported. No further discussion. Roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Gentlemen, not anything else going on, so if you would like to,
Kevin,
Sir.
just before you leave,
yes, sir.
on the old business with the job descriptions on.
Oh,
gate-
shit. Oh,
I don't know that we,
pardon me.
well, I would recommend that we do this. I see that for a gatekeeper, they had a qualification of having to have a high school diploma. Now, generally, I would say that's not a big issue, and I think that that's probably kind of the standard. in the-
Yeah, I think it has been, sure. No, but I get what you're saying, Charlie.
Uh-huh. So I
No,
don't.
that makes it, yeah.
If we might want, if possible, if we strike that, just because I don't think there'd be any type of an issue, but you know, maybe get it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm not even so sure how much we can actually look into and check on that to confirm that. So additionally, you know, what if we have a very responsible, you know, 18-year-old senior in high school that wants to do the job for a year or during the summer or something? That would, yeah. So I would say this, we'll strike that, and then we can maybe look at the final document at the next meeting, and we'll act on it. That's fine.
I believe that there is some discussion before the Board of Selectmen about job descriptions and so forth in a policy. So maybe somebody might just want to check in on that and see.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. What we'll do is we'll make that change. I'll have Victoria send them off, if you will, for a review, or just make sure that they're done in the same format and style. So I'll make sure that happens. Of course, I'm saying that Victoria's hearing all this, so, and writing it down, so I know she'll get it done. She has been I will say this again, she's been a breath of fresh air, outstanding work ethic, and I can't be happier than what we have. So, she's gonna pick this stuff up real quick, folks. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Perfect. Motion made. No further discussion. Roll call vote. Charlie Sullivan.
Aye.
Charlie Sullivan, aye. Keith Mello.
Aye.
Keith Mello, aye. Kevin Damaris, aye. Motion carries unanimously. Folks, thanks you again for participating. Everybody, stay safe, stay healthy,
Yeah.
and we'll see you on the 25th.
All righty. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye now.
Take care.